Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Mert Öztaş. I'm a consultant rheumatologist in Istanbul. We just finished our Mentor-Mentee meeting in EULAR 2023. We have two special guests, Dr. Troldborg from Aarhus University and Professor Isenberg from University College London. So thank you again for your acceptance of our invitation, and may you briefly tell us your current research projects, please?
Well, there are several, but the two that I'm sort of mostly excited about right at the moment is a project where we develop nanobodies to both to use as tools in the lab, and then also to try to target different pathways in lupus and see what happens if we target 1, 2, or maybe even 3 pathways. We of course do this both on the cellular level and in mouse models. The other project that I'm very excited about is a European inception cohort that we're trying to establish for early to mid-career researchers in lupus. This is in the very early beginning, but this is something that I'm looking forward to working on the next many years, I think. Yeah.
Well, in my career, I've moved away from doing more basic research, and now I'm more interested in translational research and long-term follow-up studies of a very large lupus cohort. I think it's the largest one in the UK. We have about 850 patients that we followed over up to 40 years, 42 or 3 years now. So I'm very interested in the idea of developing novel drugs for the treatment of lupus, working with a number of pharma companies to do that, and also working with colleagues in the laboratory who remain interested in my old interest of the structure, function, and origin of autoantibodies in cell signaling, another very big interest in our group, apoptosis, and my role there is to sort of act as the bridge between the clinic and the laboratory.
Thank you. And how do you see the lupus research in the next few years? What will be the important points do you expect?
I think there are many, but of course, I think as you alluded upon, Professor Isenberg, is that, I mean, what we need now is targeted treatment, and we need to find out which patients should have which drugs. So this is a very important project for the next many years, I think, both for pharma industry and for us as basic researchers. And I think, for example, developing new inception cohorts that are managed according to the new management of lupus will be an important point here, both to have the epidemiological side, but also to have the translational sides where you can maybe even struggle a bit to get a patient included in these projects before they start treatment. I think that's something that can really drive us to new knowledge, new targets, and also to get those markers for who respond to which treatment.
So I think this is a great raft of research projects which need doing. We need to know a little bit more about the way in which lupus gets going. So if you like, looking at pre-lupus and early diagnosis of lupus, I think that's very important. Translational research remains key. Precision medicine, which is what Alan was talking about, is also vital, because we need to know which drugs are going to suit which patients best. And we have this classic problem, actually more easily seen in rheumatoid arthritis, where we have 5 very successful biologic or small ways to go, and yet when you look at the patient in the clinic, you have no idea which one of those 5 is the one or likely to be the one to help them. With lupus, and sadly we don't have quite as much choice, but even that should change in the next 4 or 5 years, and then we'll be in the same situation of which drug for which patient.
Thank you. And you both are so interested in translational medicine. So what do you recommend to a junior rheumatologist or a junior PhD student with your current knowledge?
Yeah, well, we had great discussions on that during the Mentor-Mentee meeting here, and I think, I mean, we both agree very much that, hard, dedicated work, no matter what sort of research you do, that's important. And then for me, collaborations, that have really been what has made the difference for me, finding the right collaborators to work on these projects together with.
I think for me the key word is curiosity. You've got to be curious about lupus, its nature, its manifestations, how we can improve it, married to exactly what Anne says, very, very hard work, because it's not going to come easy, that's for sure.
Thank you again, and hope to see you in 2024.